I'm going to talk about new and very important project VarAstro, which is, as you can see in the title, a global cloud service and social network about variable stars and exoplanets. It's not the presentation is holding by me, but the co-authors are two other developers. Jan Hickel, which is also here. Hello, Hamza. And Michael Dub, which is our colleague. So, what is the VarAstro? VarAstro is going to completely replace our current website of our section VarAstro, which you know all for last 20 years. But VarAstro will be much more. It will not. It's not going to be only the website bit, but it will be the online tool for photometric data processing, the storage cloud for photometric data, publication platform for observers, a tool for observation scheduling, a platform for projects and campaigns management, a social network for observers and researchers, which is a very important part of all of it. A source of elements of eclipsing binaries and transiting exoplanets, and a source of minima and minima timings and transit timings for researchers. I would like to highlight the social network part because all such resources, as I mentioned, you can find across the internet some kind of such functions. But the main goal of this VarAstro project and the VarAstro application is to collect all these resources together with user interaction. As a user is looking at the website or mobile application, VarAstro, he's also with his interaction, he's creating the content, highlighting interesting stars, correcting elements of eclipsing binaries, adding comments to some interesting objects, and so on. So this collection and aggregation of such functions will bring us a completely new experience with to users, and from that experience, the new type of content about variable stars and exoplanets will be created. What can be compared to this application, to this project, is it will be some kind of Wikipedia for variable stars, where users can edit the content, trusted users. And because there is so many stars, so much content, that it's impossible for any administrator to keep the content updated, up to date. So all users will be participating on creating the content and keeping it up to date. So this is how what VarAstro will be. And in the screen, I'm going to show you how it will look like. First off, it will be, of course, the website, the new version of the website of our variable star section, but with responsive UI, so you can easily look at it on any device. but it will not only be the responsive web application, but also mobile applications for both for iOS and for Android. And the third part, which is a very important one, there will be a REST API for third-party software like Silicus or like any other software. If you are a software developer, you will be able to connect to our REST API and interact with our database, reading data, uploading transits, for example, directly to ETD and so on. So before I will continue, I'm going to show you the current status of VarAstro development process. I hope it will work. This sharing screen. Can you see the website or still my presentation?
Yes, we see your website.
Okay, so we can see it. Okay, great. So this is the preview version of the website. You can see there are some testing data. Light curves are automatically plotted as you scroll the website down. It's infinitive scrolling, so you can sort it by time. So the new records are at the top. I can switch to English. As you can see, there is English version, and when I choose another language, it's going to be here in the URL. I'm going to sign in. Change to English for foreign participants. Now I can point some stars that I want to observe, clicking by this. It's one click, just put this star to my observing schedule. So in minima prediction, this star will be available just by clicking that I want to observe it. Of course, I can edit my profile or manage my account, change password, add two-factor authentication. We're planning that if you will be the content creator, if you want to, for example, update data for some star, you have to use two-factor authentication. So you have to. So we will be sure that the user who is creating the content is who it pretends to be. So there is some other functions, but I'm not. I don't have so much time, and I would like to show you something else. That was some short preview of the current VarAstro development status of the website. But there is also the huge part and very important one, as I told you before, the REST API. At this address, you can see automatically generated documentation for the REST API. If you are the software developer or astronomer or researcher who is able to write its own software, for example, for data processing or photometry processing or some publishing or I don't know, modeling, you will need information about how to communicate with our REST API, how to, for example, get data for a particular star. So this interface is just for you. Here you can see some endpoints of our REST API concerning feeds, messages, notifications, searching for stars, searching for observations. And for example, if you want to gather data for some particular star, you can use this endpoint. And our documentation will show you that if you utter the ID of the star, you'll get such kind of data. It's whether it is transiting exoplanet or intrinsic variable, which cross IDs are there, if there are some metadata and so on. So in this computer readable format, which is JSON format, you'll get the response from our REST API. Also, very important part of this documentation is that you have complete information about objects in our application. For example, object star. So you can see which kind of information we are holding for it. Cross IDs, metadata, change log, and you can browse this data in comfort and common way. So this is documentation for our REST API, which is automatically updated as we add or modify the API of VarAstro. So this is a short review how VarAstro look like now. Mobile applications are not here yet because there is nothing to show at all now. What's the main differences between current website VAR2 Astro CZ and new version of the website VarAstro? The current website is the standalone website. On the other hand, the new project, the new VarAstro, will be web, it will be REST API, and it will be mobile applications. Current version has limited user interactions. There is only a possibility to post some comment. But VarAstro, there is now, and there will be more in the future, more user interactions and connected with notifications. So while when somebody, for example, change ephemeris of the star you've created or you are observing, you'll receive the notification to your mobile application or to your email mailbox that something is changed with your star. Of course, these notifications can be signed out, so if you don't want to receive them. The current website is built with deprecated PHP technology, which was one of the points why we decided to create the new project. The new VarAstro is built in modern, fast, and secure .NET framework, which is widely supported by Microsoft, but it can be run on any device or any platform. For example, on Linux, on Unix, on Mac, on mobile devices. And I like to mention the one more point. Current website, there's impossible to do some further development because of the way it was created, and it was created by only one person, by me. But if we want to move forward to add new projects, add new possibilities, add new content, to develop our section and to post new functions for our users, for users worldwide. We have to have a possibility to extend new functions, and it was impossible in the current website. So this new version is built with huge importance at the possibility to extend it with new functions. It's completely covered by tests, so the developers don't have to worry about modifying some function, because our tests will told us it has something, you broke something while editing this function. Yeah, do it properly. So it is completely covered by hundreds of tests now, and it will be thousands in the future. And this is why we can we have unlimited possibilities for further development. In short, the technical background of VarAstro project, it is based on my SQL database on the Linux server, or MariaDB, which is a small difference. The REST API is built using fast.NET 5, formerly .NET Core framework. Also, the web application is built with this .NET 5, formerly ASP.NET Core framework with responsive UI. And mobile applications will be built in Xamarin Forms framework, which brings us the possibility to write the function and the UI only once for both iOS and Android. So this is why we are using Xamarin Forms. Unit tests I mentioned, push notifications will be prepared using Google Firebase, and also there will be email notifications for web users. And we host all the source code and the work items for development planning on the Azure DevOps, which is cloud by Microsoft, but it's free for charge, and it's very secure and it's how to say, the standard for today's development of applications of any kind. There are some challenges in VarAstro development. The main difference between the current website, or the old one, and the VarAstro is that the current website was built from zero. There was nothing before I've created the first version of VarAstro. So there was nothing, no functionality. So I just created the first one and posted to the server, and wow, it's working. And for our users, it looked like wow, the development process is very quick. Yeah, but during 10 years I've spent on creating current website functions. During that 10 years, a lot of functionality was built for observers, for researchers, for example, or our uploading tools, fitting mechanism of transits, or eclipsing binaries, or database functions, and so on. So there are millions of functions. So if we want to replace this web with the new one, we have to cover a lot of functionality before we upload the new website to the production for users. So it's the main difference, and it's a challenge for us, because nowadays we are working almost 2 years on VarAstro, and maybe for our users it took a lot of time, and almost nothing changed visible on the web. But it's because we are spending a lot of time in the core of the application, in the database, in the, for example, file server sharing, and so on. And this is how, this is what's difficult even for users. They must wait for long, even for our developers. We have to work and work and work and work, and it's not done yet. So this is the huge difference between the current website and the VarAstro. And the next one, I have to be short, 20 minutes. There is a huge database of the current website, under the current website. Huge database, gigabytes of database, and millions of data files, which we have to migrate to the new version, which has completely different database structure. It is a very difficult task to migrate the data from the current version of the website to the new one, but it's almost done. It was done last year, and now we're working on website mostly. Lack of observers. As I told before, current website was created by one developer, by me, and now we are free. And I'm still complaining there is a lack of us. There is only a few of us. It's because as I told before, there is a lot of functions we have to cover now by code. And now we are free of us. We will be happy to have two more developers, two more .NET developers to speed up the process. And lack of financing. Of course, this is non-commercial projects, and we are working on it mostly in free time, completely in our free time. But we are all professional developers, and our time spent on the project must be paid somehow. Yeah, because it's without it, the working cannot be the work on the project cannot be finished. There is even non-commercial, in a non-commercial rate, the work on this project must be paid somehow, and it's the huge task for leaderships of our section to find financial sources for this. I computed and estimated the necessary time for VarAstro complete development as 2,500 hours of working on it. Now I think we have some 500 hours done, or more, 600 hours working is done. So we are now in some 20% of the process development. But when it will be finished and released to the production, the VarAstro project and its goals. There are three goals for why we are doing this. It's the first of it's to create and long-term support of the global application, which significantly impacts the variable stars and exoplanets research worldwide. Second of the both visible front end and the heart of variable star and exoplanets section of Czech Astronomical Society for next decades. So this is for next. We are doing this to support our astronomers and astronomers worldwide for next, I estimate 40 years. And the third goal is we want that every photometric observer around the world will have VarAstro app installed in his or her smartphone, along with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so on apps. So when you install this application, you will have all the VarAstro in your hand. Thank you for your attention.